So let me give you a little bit about me. You know how people that get into wellness really want the world to be a healthier place? And they're really committed to making a difference in the lives of the people in the world, but sometimes they don't love business? Now what I found is usually that they're one of the smartest people in the room. And they don't like visibility. They'd rather the limelight be on someone else. And so they struggle with business. And I have been a doctor of Oriental medicine. That's an acupuncturist in the state of New Mexico. I was a primary care physician. So I built an integrative medicine program in a hospital. And after dealing with patient after patient after patient, where do you think over 95% of people get ill?
Get ill or get help?
Get ill.
In the hospital.
Well, it's actually in their working environment.
Well,
it's where they spend most of their time, and that's at work. And so there's all these people that want the world to be a healthier place, but being in the workplace isn't that healthy. So what I started doing, I'm a third generation entrepreneur, started trying to figure out how can we be entrepreneurs in healthier ways. And what my clients report is, you can simplify things, and I don't think things are getting simpler. You can truly simplify your marketing, you can simplify your operations, and you can live a really good life. And what they tell me is they have higher profits, better relationships, and more impact. Now you asked me a question, how do I do this with 4 kids? I've learned how to master a simple business. And I want to teach you one of those aspects today, which is how to introduce yourself. If I say R-O-A-S-T, what does that spell?
Roast.
Roast. I saw you shug. It spells roast. We're going to say it 5 times together. You ready? Roast. Roast. Wait. So some people are mouthing it. We're going to say it together. Roast. 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 What do you put in a toaster? You put?
Toast.
Bread. What do you put in a toaster?
Bread.
You put bread. You put bread. However, it's easy to think about putting toast in a toaster. Why?
End result.
Being busy, end result, moving too fast. And this is generally what we do when that microphone comes to us. We get nervous, we focus on, I need business, I want more money, I don't want to mess up, I'm concerned that people are going to be thinking about me. And where's all that limelight?
On you.
On you. Where should it be?
People.
On the people, just to be of service. And when we can master starting to be of service to other people and not worrying about what they think of us, I love woo-woo. Like, that's, be you, right? And the more you can be, the less you're going to focus on yourself because you're there to be of service. Now, we take a look at this, and we go to autopilot. How many people have been in a large room of people introducing themselves when you just start to feel a heaviness of people trying to get more business? It's no longer about the connection. It's become about just more business, which is not connecting, and that's because people go on autopilot. Now, everybody just take your finger and point at yourself. Look around the room. Where's everyone pointing? At themselves. And what part of yourself?
The heart.
The heart. Why? This is noisy.
Right.
This is
Well,
constantly
we are.
thinking, am I doing business right? Am I doing this well? Do people like me? Have I messed up yet today? This is connected, and it's quiet. And when you're connected and quiet and you're clear, people are going to remember you. It could even be less about what you're saying. Your presence alone can enroll more business. So, we take a look at the elevator speech. What is it? Now, there is a mythology around it, and it comes from Hollywood. And 30 seconds was the time that it would take from the ground floor in Hollywood to pitch your movie idea to the executive floor. And if you could get it down with clarity about what the story idea was and what you thought about it in a way that the executive director says, yes, you've nailed it. Now, the more I looked into, like, is that true? It was a myth, but it did happen on an elevator. And it was actually quality improvement. And the person that invented quality improvement wanted to get people enrolled in it. So when he got higher ups on the elevator, he would share about it. And it would turn them on. Now, eventually it caught on in business. If you can be really clear about what you do, very succinct, in a short amount of time, and you share who you help and how you help them, people can respond. So we take a look, and to do this, we want to know what is marketing. Let's just popcorn. What are some ideas on what marketing is?
Sharing what you do.
I heard,
It's sharing what you do with others.
That's right, sharing what you do with others. What else? To me, marketing, I want you to change your mind about how you feel about marketing, and marketing is building relationships with others. That's it. Keep it to the simple thing that marketing is just sharing with others what you love to do.
This is dressed differently in the way you do it.
That's right. And you can name how you do it uniquely. You can name why you love to do it. There's lots of things you could do about it. But most, especially wellness people, don't like marketing because it means something else. So a reframe is marketing's just building relationships, and getting to share who you are and how you help other people can be a lot of fun. So why have an elevator speech? Why have a 30-second commercial?
Breaks the ice.
Breaks the ice. People are going to ask you what you do for a living. You're definitely going to go to a meeting like this and someone's going to shove a microphone in your face. Like, there's lots of reasons to have one. And most of the time we don't have a template. We end up talking too much about us and not enough about what we do to help other people. Why is marketing important? When you are not marketing effectively, you're searching. You're like on the beach, like trying to wave in boats, and you're over here, and then you're over here, and it's like, anybody try the shotgun marketing approach? A little bit of everything that doesn't work really well? Yeah. Well, when you get really clear on what you do and how you help people, it doesn't matter if it's in advertising in print, it doesn't matter if it's online, in a Facebook ad, in LinkedIn, it becomes the same, and you become the lighthouse because you're able to be really focused on who you are, how you help, and who you serve. Tribe's important. Oftentimes when I talk to someone about, well, who's the perfect client for you? And they say people, I get super nervous. Because people's not a tribe, right? Now, oftentimes I work with wellness practitioners like an acupuncturist, a naturopath, and they have a clinic and they want to be a general practitioner. There's nothing wrong with being a general practitioner, but if you're in Portland or you're in Vancouver and you're in different parts of the city, that city has a community and the community knows who they are. So you can just market to the community. Now in Portland, if you know Hawthorne, Hawthorne's different than St. John's, right? St. John's is different than Lens. Know your neighborhood if you serve lots of people, and you'll know how to market to the people. The basics of tribes, I can break it down to demographic, psychographic, and really what is a problem that your client is facing. So a demographic, those are things that we can see. Think of the consensus. Like the Gallup surveys come out, we know what about people? We know sometimes their income status, and actually I don't know about in Vancouver. How many people live in Vancouver? Yeah, so Small Business Center in Portland will give you demographics for your business. You could check out here, there's probably a business center that already has all the information, if you're doing business locally, about what the income is, are they married or single, number of kids, right? And so if you're in business and you start to do demographics, you may find that all of your clients are over 6 figures. That matters, that's important information. Now psychographics, anyone know what that term means? If demographics are the externals of what we could name, then psychographics are the internals of the core values. What do they believe in? Now, they may believe community is really important. They may believe organics are really important. They may believe that we need to come together as a society. There's lots of things about your audience that you can start to learn when you look at that. And then what's the challenge that they're facing? Who in here just volunteer real quick? Yes. And what's your business?
I do grief recovery and Reiki.
Grief recovery and Reiki. So what is the biggest problem your clients face?
Not understanding the challenges that we all
Yeah,
face to.
yeah. I would say as Americans, we do grief horribly here, right? So then really educating them that it can be healthy to grieve. And really what I would say in your marketing is you can grieve now or you can grieve later, but if you grieve later, lots of side effects happen,
Absolutely.
right? And so really getting in connection with them about that. So, why do you think small business owners resist marketing? Because it's not you guys in the room, it's 90% of small business owners resist marketing.
Cost.
One, they think it's going to cost a lot.
It sounds more salesy.
Yep, we don't want to be labeled as that. We want to be heart-centered. We want to make a difference. We don't want to be that business person that's taking advantage of someone or trying to manipulate someone. Yeah. So it's so easy to resist because of what we've made it mean. But if we could come back and say, you mean I can market with a heart? I can market in a way that's connecting to other people in the room. It's a whole new ballgame. So word of mouth marketing is going to help. And studies still say, I think Nielsen ratings is 92% word of mouth marketing. That means people that know you, they like you, they want to share you. Now, if you have a solid 30-second commercial, 30-second elevator pitch, they can share that and people already know. Now, here's the test pilot, right? When you say your intro, do names and faces come to other people? And if the answer is no, you're probably just bringing up your competition. Let me give you an example. If I'm a real estate agent and I come in the room and I'm like, hey, I'm Jason, I'm a realtor. Everyone's just got the association of all the realtors they know. But if I say, hey, I'm Jason, I'm a realtor, you know how people are downsizing every day? Well, what I do with my clients is I'm a realtor that specializes in simplifying and downsizing. If you know someone in a big house that wants to go to a condo, I'm that person. My clients report that they are so happy to have less and not be responsible for the yard. Right? So how to create it? That's where we get to. This is where you can use it. But I want to share one more thing. And, you know, although being a doctor of oriental medicine, I didn't do surgery, although in the state of New Mexico, in my scope of practice was minor surgery. I could do a lot of things. What I studied was brain chemistry because I like where brain chemistry and business meet. And if we get to this part of the brain right here, does that work? Does anyone know what that is?
Red dots.
Red dots. And what are those red dots? It's the amygdala. And the amygdala is the fight, fright, or freeze part of the brain. Now, if we heard the fire alarm go off in this room, what would we do? Yeah, we'd probably look for an exit sign, and there it is, right there, right? And it deals with past events. But the challenge is when we go to a network marketing meeting and the microphone comes to us, we either like get really aggressive and shout out, or we get withdrawn and we're like, no, I'll pass today. Or we freeze and we're just like my first event, which is like, Jason. We hand it off. So what we want is we need a template to make this easier. And I've used it a couple of times in my talk today. You know how blank? Well, I blank, and my clients report blank. Now, it's okay to say that you're a Reiki practitioner. But if you say, I'm a Reiki practitioner, I do grief work, most people's brains are going to be like, oh, well, how do I feel about grief? And what is Reiki? Or who else do I know that does Reiki? and like, it's not fully formed. But if I say, I'm a Reiki practitioner, you know how people that have grief really struggle with having it? Like almost like they want to cut their arm off to not have it any longer? Well, it's because it's so uncomfortable. And what I do as a Reiki practitioner and a grief expert is I help people walk through that grief in a way that's healing. So they don't force it more down into their body, but it comes up and out, and they get to make the new chapter in their life. My clients report that grief is not fun, but that it's healing, and that it gives them a fresh start. What's next? I'm talking about them rather than about me, and I'm sharing what I can do and how I can help.
You just talked about what we talked about, you know, so yeah.
Oh, say more about what, I don't know what you're talking about.
We were talking about similar to how you used Ann's illustration of how do you explain it where it connects
That's
to
right.
their heart.
That's right.
And that's our challenge is, we've got so much to say, but how do you make it to connect to their heart? And you just showed an example of how you've taken Ann's and added more heart to it. I guess that's what I would say.
Now, what I know about you, because I've seen your card, you're a health coach.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, what does that mean?
Can be a lot of, like you said, it depends what picture they draw.
That's right. And so, it's really interesting because I also like practical, like we're doing practical today, but Facebook marketing, if you get in and you do marketing, you can market by zip code, you can market by profession. Profession in like the regional area, there are about a few thousand acupuncturists. And I work with a lot of acupuncturists. And I looked up health coaches, 40,000. So your competition becomes fierce unless you can say what you do. So I'm going to ask you again, like, what is it that you do with clients? Like, walk me through a little bit of it.
I help them make lifelong transformations, one healthy habit at a time.
Okay.
And I join on their team to help them win because I like winning, and so I help them make the steps that we explore that will work for them.
Great. And so then, are you a nutritionist, or you get them outside support?
Get them outside support.
Okay, great.
And nutrition is part of most people's support.
Yeah, great.
It's one of the systems.
Okay, great. So, I'm going to channel you for a second, okay? Because I get what you do, and it's not easy to explain. This is a true story. You know how people don't like change? There's a Fast Company article that said 9 out of 10 people that had open heart surgery and all they had to do was change their lifestyle didn't. I'm a health coach, and what I do with my clients is I give them the accountability, the support, and the nourishment to finally make the changes they want in their health and well-being. So you can be the 1 out of 10, or you can become the 9 out of 10. And my clients report becoming the 1 out of 10 has them feel healthier in their body, has them sleep better at night, and has them be grateful that they're able to finally make the change that they've always wanted to make. Can I give you my card? How's that?
Good.
Welcome.
Hey, good morning. My one thought was I might say, would you like to explore more instead of giving my card?
Even better. Trust your own instincts. Yeah. And so, a couple of things. How are we doing on time? I didn't even check the time before I started.
What time
It's
is
a
it?
1:45.
Okay, great. So we're going to take about a couple more minutes, and we're going to close out. I've been doing this for years, and what I find is you are not alone. The fact that you aren't loving introducing yourself is very common. And the fact that it's probably not bringing you as much business as you could be creating is also very common. What I would recommend is go back to that partner you were with, and you're in a triad, but there's now, so let's switch up the partners. We have 2 in the back, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here. Ma'am, your name all the way in the back?
Maureen?
Maureen, you're going to have to explain to our newcomer what we just did for the last 25 minutes.
All right, you can do it.
So go ahead and just experiment. If you just off the cuff, You know how blank will I blank and my clients report blank. Let's do that for 2 minutes. 1 minute each way. The person with the birthday closer to January is going to go first. I have a timer in my hand. 3, 2, 1, go.
Yep.
Okay, so,
Yeah, look at it. Feel free.
You had it good without one.
That's great.
you know how I work.
Okay, okay. Okay, I was looking at, listening for you. Okay.
I want to
Okay,
make that.
okay, sure.
Heart to heart marketing. So, you know how I help women to really reconnect with
Okay, switch. Switch so the other person gets a chance as well.
They can gain clarity It's good. Stronger.
Better got a good question.
It's a little more concise.
So much more connected, so much more
We're switched.
Where they want to go. That's not how I would really remember. So I would
Well, you know how, I speak. You know how every now and then I mention I work with students.
We did it in freshman.
That's great. That means you're about 17 seconds.
And my students report that they really appreciate it.
This is
Yeah. So your clients.
Oh, this is mine online, but I'm happy to share it.
Well, I said students.
Oh, yeah.
Call my students clients.
Okay.
Got it.
So we're done here. There we are.
So let's bring it back in. Yeah. All right. So curious, how was that? Just a couple of shares. I see this in the back of the room. That's good. I mean, literally 24 minutes and you already have a little bit more stability. It wasn't like, it was like, oh, okay, so I'm getting there. Yeah, who else?
I'm actually working on something like this with my coach. So,
Perfect.
yeah, so I'm
Perfect.
familiar with it.
Yeah, and so what I would encourage you to do, you don't have to take this template, you know how will I, but you can start to see the elements of it. And so what I'm actually saying is, you know how people struggle with this? Well, this is my way that I work with people with that. And this is what they say after I work with them. And when you can get that flow, you can start to practice in the mirror, you can get it in your body and bones, and it can vary what you say according to the audience you're with. Right? Any questions about anything we covered today? And I want to hear just from one or two people, what's a takeaway? Like you can take this information, and what's a takeaway for you from what we did today in the 25 minutes?
Simplify and connect.
Yes! If you do nothing else, don't take my template, simplify and connect. If you come from here rather than here, more people are going to be engaged and they're going to want to do business with you. Now my last slide, I did not change it. I used to do this crazy thing, 30 minutes of business strategy for your favorite chocolate. The challenge is, I kid you not, hundreds of pounds of chocolate from around the world. And I had to stop doing it because my waistline was getting too big. We had 2 drawers in our refrigerator that was so full of people. Because I don't only work in Portland, Vancouver, I work around the world. And what I found is I had to stop doing it, but I do have something that I can offer you. And that is, I have a 1-page marketing plan. And I believe marketing plans should be simpler, and it's guaranteed. So if you love it, it's $99. And if you don't love it, it's on me. We spend an hour together I listen to you about your business. We start to identify more so you can be more clear. And then we get you a structure of daily, weekly, bi-monthly, monthly, and quarterly. And from that place, everything gets simpler. If you're interested in that, you can leave me your card, and I'll put a note on there. The other offer I have for you today is I do have a newsletter. It's 2 minutes or less every week. It's either video or written. And they're really, how do you simplify your business? In addition, if you want that, I have the notes to today's talk, and I'm happy to give you that. I'm also happy to share the PowerPoint with you. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you.